I think what investors really need to do is take a little bit patience and not panic in this environment and, reevaluate what are their goals, where are they. We've been actually actively deploying capital here in this marketplace. We're finding some really good values, but we're not committing, oversized positions at this point. We're legging into them and we're taking our time. So for longer term, we think that the market, should recover. But we're not going to begin to call the bottom here, until we get a little more certainty as to how long this is going to last.
That seems to make sense to me. You're taking a prudent approach to getting back in. If you're an investor with money on the sidelines, perhaps you're more of a retail investor. Should you be deploying the same approach?
I think that, you leg into investments over time. Dollar cost averaging both in and out of positions, I think is a good strategy for many of the retail investors because it's very hard to, say, put all your money in and then be down on a day like yesterday. It's very nerve-wracking, can certainly strike at your confidence. But if you've been doing your due diligence and excited about certain companies, or maybe you missed all the FANG move over the last bunch of years, it might be a time to, be evaluating and say, is there some money that I'd like to put in? But again, we're not calling the bottom yet. There's certainly a lot of volatility out there. I don't think the OPEC oil situation helped the situation on Friday. But that's a whole nother, war that's going on between kind of two Godzillas that really want to take back market share. And, we'll see what our government actions are, which, I think would probably be a little bit supportive to those industries.
So you're talking about taking a little bit of a leg in, sort of slowly testing the waters. You mentioned FANG. Is that where you would recommend putting some money to work because of the pullbacks we've seen?
It is an area of some really high-quality companies with long-term secular growth stories, which I think the retail investors, can understand. They know those names. They know those brands. That's, in many cases, a pretty good strategy for retail investors. Institutional investors like ourselves, active management, we're kind of doing the work, digging down to those non-household names and seeing where we can deploy some capital there. And what we're seeing, some actual green shoots in China. They're coming back. The factories are going back to work, the pace of which I think may be different. But we are seeing some activity there, which for the supply chain, we think are some pretty good areas. But those are really not household names where, I think retail investors would know.